the single most important metric that will make or break your coaching, consulting, service-based business. This metric forms the base, the foundation of your business, and there is no point. There is no point focusing on other things if this thing isn't locked in. So I'm Tao and I help online coaches, consultants, service providers go from below 5k a month to 25,000 a month just through online client acquisition. So as business owners, we want to maximize profits. And of course, we know what to do. You want to generate more profits, you just got to increase revenue, reduce costs. But that's way too simple, right? So we want to dive a bit more deeper inside. What does it mean to increase revenue online? And what is the main cost we must decrease? So today, I'll be going through the LTV CAC ratio. You might have heard of it before, but I'm just going to go a bit more in depth so that you have a greater understanding of what that means. So we're going to dive into revenue, more specifically LTV, lifetime value. Most coaches, consultants should be starting off with one-on-one coaching, not group coaching. No need for a complex coaching program with group program, courses and all that. You just need one-on-one coaching. And it should really stay that way until you're hitting $20,000, $30,000 a month. And okay, for service providers, I know you're not doing one-on-one coaching, but basically what I mean is that you just need a minimum viable product. If you're a service provider like an enrichment center, you might not be providing one-on-one coaching, but basically you just gotta focus on something that is the simplest, something that is the easiest to scale, easiest to fulfill. That's what you should be focusing on. There's no need to be doing so many things. Focus on something that is super duper simple, because simplicity scales. So if you're not hitting those numbers with simple one-on-ones alone, it could mean that your lifetime value is too low, and that could come down to 3 problems. Firstly, you're charging monthly instead of signing a package deal. So this is a hamster wheel that a lot of coaches and service providers get stuck in, but because they're too scared to ask for a huge chunk of money, so they just settle with, okay, you just have to pay me monthly, pay me $500 a month, instead of asking for $3,000 for 6 months deal. And the problem with doing this is that yes, you can say that my MRR is 500, but you don't know if they're gonna stay the next month. You don't exactly know what your revenue is going to be next month. And that's a problem if you're trying to scale, because you have to know exactly what your lifetime value is. That's why you have to get to a position where you are confident enough to easily ask for $3,000, 6 months package. Number 2, you're charging way too low. You might think that you don't have enough authority to be charging higher, or some reason you decide that your product isn't worth that much money and then they shouldn't be paying you too much money. But the market decides what you're worth. You don't have to decide for yourself. You gotta know that you are good enough to be charging a lot of value, charging a lot more money. So stop comparing yourself with low-level coaches when you're trying to get to a high level. You have to start comparing with high-level coaches. What are they doing? What are they pricing? If they're charging $5,000 and people around you are charging $3,000, why are you still charging the same amount of money when you're trying to go from this level to the next level? You have to increase your price so that you can stop being stuck at this level and get to the next level. Next, you're not doing enough cross-sells, down-sells, upsells. This might complicate things a bit just now, because I said that you must keep things as simple as possible. But if your cross-sell, your downsell, your upsell is very simple, it is worth it for you to introduce these offers. But all these things should not be your main offer. Your main offer should always be a package deal or an offer that is super duper high priced. Because if you start losing confidence during a sales call and then easily cross-sell, easily downsell, then what you're doing is basically the same thing as confusing yourself and then doing a lot of different offers. That's not what you want. You want something simple, but worst case scenario, if they don't want to buy your main offer, you give them something that is super easy to fulfill. That is for cross-sells and downsells. So number one, cross-sell. Sell them a complimentary product. If you are doing one-on-one, you could bundle it with the down for you offer. So it's very little effort. You just have to combine it together and you just serve it to them. Or you bundle your one-on-one with access to your private community, and your private community is something that you don't really have to sustain that much. But if it's a private community that you're putting a lot of effort in, then don't think about it. Cross-sells might not be something that you want to do if it becomes an additional headache. Only do it if you already have a down for you offer, or if you already have a private community, so that you can just bind them together. Don't go out of your way to create an additional down for you offer or an additional private community if you're already scaling up with a one-on-one offer. So number two, downsells. Downsell just means something that's super easy to fulfill, like courses. You record it once and you just sell it to them. You sell the exact same thing to everybody. Or like I said, private community. If you already have a private community, just sell the community. Forget about coaching, just sell the community. That's the downsell. But downsell is really the last resort. During a sales call, you realize that they really cannot afford your main offer, then you downsell. Okay, now we can talk about something a bit more exciting, which is upsells. Upsells, you realize that this prospect isn't just warm, they're hot. They're excited to buy more of you. So if you realize that this client was very happy with your product, or even if it's just a prospect, you realize that they are super duper willing to buy your service, then you can upsell them to something even worth more. So always be prepared. So example, if you had an existing client, just extend your one-on-one. Say, okay, I know that working with me has generated you additional 100% in your revenue in the past 6 months. So how about we do another 12 months for $8,000? If they're on a high, they'll easily say yes. They already know that your coaching made sense. So if you say that let's just extend it, all they see is that, oh, it means that my growth will continue if I work with you. So this is a no-brainer. Or something interesting is like real life meetups. If your one-on-one coaching is in an area where your clients can easily access, then you can do real life meetups, masterminds, charge them $3,000, and then give them nice food, and book a hall, prepare slides, let the clients meet each other in real life, and then that's quite not say easy money, but because you have to really prepare, and then meeting your clients real life for some people might actually be a headache if you have only been scaling your business online. But if you're willing to do it, it's something that could really generate you an additional revenue. So now let's talk about cost. More specifically, it's client acquisition cost, so CAC. So my memory ran out. I had to clear some storage, and now I'm back to filming. And also, by the way, this document, just DM me on Instagram, I'll send it to you. But what's written on the document is just main pointers, right? So after I wrote these main pointers, I didn't write any script. I'm just gonna yap. I'm just gonna talk about whatever that's on my mind, right? So if you don't like that it's not well structured, or it's not a tip-top sexy YouTube video, I'm sorry, but that is not supposed to be. I didn't intend this video to be like that. It's supposed to be raw. Whatever that's on my mind, I'm just gonna spit it out. Okay? Accept it. So now let's just talk about the cost now. Cost. More specifically, client acquisition cost. CAC. So what is CAC? You have to know exactly how much on average you're spending to acquire one client. If you don't know this data, how would you know if you spend this much this month, how much you get back in revenue in the end of the month? You have to know CAC so that you can calculate that value. So an example, if you have a VA that is doing cold DM for you and you're spending $100 a month on this one VA, and you close one client every 2 months, so you're spending $200. It means that you spent $200 to get one client, so your CAC is $200. Example 2, you run Meta ads and your ad spend is $1,000 a month. You close 2 clients this month. It means that you spend $1,000 to get 2 clients, so that's $500 CAC. We have to look at CAC as our main cost, because you don't beat your competitors by reducing other costs in your business. You don't beat your competitors just because your rental costs are lower. No. You beat competitors because your CAC is lower. In other words, we are competing with other businesses on who can get the lowest CAC. That's what differentiates businesses. That's what differentiates businesses that can scale up really quickly and businesses that just get stuck below 5K a month. So, TLDR, right? LTV, just consider it as your revenue. If you want to fix your revenue, look at LTV. If you want... Sorry, my dog is making a lot of noise. So, if you want to fix your revenue, look at lifetime value. If you want to look at cost, look at CAC. So, if you want to maximize profit, we have to increase LTV, reduce CAC. Maximize LTV, minimize CAC. And so I'll go show you an example of a healthy coaching, consulting, service-based businesses financials. So I mean, this is rough, but the percentage is what I deem to be a healthy financial. So example, let's say you have 5 clients that are paying you $5,000 this month. So your revenue is 25 grand. So 100%, right, revenue. And your CAC is that you spend 20% to acquire them. If your CAC is around 20-30%, you shouldn't have to worry that much. You want to get closer to 20%, but as long as it's between 20-30%, you don't have to stretch out that much. So your CAC is $1,400, you spend times 5, so $7,000. Subscription means just like your ClickFunnels, Zoom, whatever you need, right? Let's just say you spend 1% on that. So your profit will be $17,000. And out of that, you give your profit split to maybe you have a closer, you have a partner, you have agencies you work with, and then you give them 30% of the profit split. So your own income as a coach is $12,000. So this is a healthy coaching, consulting, financials. Number 2, an example of a toxic one. Let's look at what's a toxic consulting business. So you're generating $25,000, but you're spending 40% on acquiring one client. That's way too much. That's way too much. With this, your profit will be too low to have enough cash flow to sustain a good momentum month by month. So in this situation, your income is $10,000, so it seems good, but if it's 40%, your momentum will slow down. You'll always feel suffocated. You don't know if your CAC will increase. And if you're getting 40% CAC, right, there's something wrong with the ad, so you must fix that. So number 2, you're getting 25 grand, your CAC is 20%, but you don't have any profit split, meaning you're not delegating anything. So you're hopping on all the calls, you're the one editing all the videos, you're the one managing all the ads, you're the one that is basically doing other operations that you don't have to be doing. That's not good also. Yeah, sure, you're making more money, but you could be making even more in few months' time if you are smart with your money right now. You're smart with your money, time, and energy right now. So whatever things you can automate, whatever things you can delegate, whatever things you can eliminate, you have to do that. As a business owner, it's not all about maximizing your profit in the short term. It's about seeing what your time is best used so that you can maximize your profit in a few months' time, in a few years' time. So if there are things that you don't have to be doing that a VA can do, example like cold outreach, if it's just sending out email DMs, hire a VA from Philippines and let the person do that. If you have enough sales call coming in where you can hire a closer, hire the closer. Or if you don't have enough knowledge on ads, or you're too lazy to keep up with the trends, then invest in an agency, invest in a growth partner that can manage all the ads and growth strategy for you so that you can focus on the coaching part, right? If you're a coach and you only enjoy the coaching part, which is a lot of coaches, by the way, a lot of coaches get into coaching because they want to coach. They don't get into coaching because they like to run ads, right? So if you think that it's a smart investment for you to able to release the headache to someone else to take care of the growth strategies so that you can just focus on creating a good coaching program, then release that to an agency or a growth partner. So that's that. Now let's go out with the first 3 limiting beliefs. Limiting belief 1. My hourly rate would drop if I pay CAC. How does that make sense, right? But basically, I hear this a lot, but people who don't really know much about maybe running ads or didn't know that you should be outsourcing things so that you can acquire clients would be like, oh, but if I pay $1,400 to get a $5,000 client, I'm losing out on so much money. I'm literally losing $1,400. But if you're a business owner, you can't be thinking like that. Okay? If you want to scale, you have to lock down these numbers because you have to make sure that you know all the important key metrics if you want to scale up. Next, if you don't know what's a CAC, you don't have stability. If you have a business with no CAC, it either means your organic channel is super duper powerful. So your videos are going viral and you're getting free leads. Then sure, for now you don't have to focus on ads. Good for you. But most of the situation when someone says, why would I have to pay for CAC? Is because they grew their business foundation purely maybe on referrals or through their friends and families. So they got clients through their friends and families, they got clients through referrals, and then they think that that's how it's going to be forever, where they can just scale their business constantly through their friends and families and referrals. But then they realize that, oh, they will hit a plateau because you can't scale a business purely on that. And yeah, sure, if you're doing referrals and friends and families, your CAC is basically $0 because they're just coming to you and they trust you enough. But if you want to really scale up, you have to really pay your CAC, find out your CAC so that you can scale up predictably. So you have to break the limiting belief. Okay, second limiting belief, I can do everything myself. So I covered this just now a bit in this toxic coaching business financials, but there are a lot of coaches that think that they will edit all of the videos themselves, all their Instagram reels, YouTube videos, they edit themselves, all the appointment setting, all the conversations on Instagram DMs or emails, they do themselves. They do all the outreach, they hop on all the sales calls, they hop on onboarding call. If they're doing everything themselves, then what are you essentially? You started a coaching business because you're good at coaching. You started an enrichment center because you're good at enriching people with knowledge. Then why are you suddenly also becoming a salesman, also becoming a VA, also becoming a media buying specialist, also becoming a advertisement agency for yourself? At this point, you're not a coach anymore. You are an entire business that's just squeezed into one person. So do you really think that you can compete with other people who are delegating certain tasks to people who fit the task? So a coach does coaching, an agency does the marketing part, a VA does the outreach part. If there is a business that is specifically delegated to people that fit the unique skill set, that business is going to scale up much faster than you, because you can't be an expert at every single thing. That's just not possible, right? So figure out what's the most valuable skill you have. If you're a coach, most likely the valuable skill you have is coaching people, is creating good coaching programs. So focus on that and let other people have the headache of closing the people on sales call, or let other people have the headache of editing videos, creating content. Let them do that. And what is the part you hate? That's something that people have to look at also. It's not just what you're damn good, but it's also what is something that you hate. So if hopping a sales call is still something that is worth it to you, but financially speaking it's worth it to you, because maybe you're not getting enough sales calls, so you can't really afford a base pay for a closer, but then you hate hopping a sales call, it's something that's burning you out, then it's actually worth it for you to invest in a closer. Because if you're running a business where every single day it's depleting your energy, depleting the stock that you have in your heart, then you're eventually going to burn out and the business will collapse. You are the head of the business, and if you collapse, then everything will collapse. So sometimes it is worth it to outsource something that you hate, even though financially it might not make sense. So for example, if you calculate that your hourly rate is still only like $30 an hour, and hiring maybe a setter that calls up their leads immediately will cost you $20 an hour. Maybe it's not that worth it financially to hire a setter that can call up the leads immediately. But in this situation, if you hate constantly making sure that you call the leads up immediately, you don't like doing that, then it's worth it to just outsource it. You're a business owner, you make the decision. If you don't want to do it, outsource it. If it financially doesn't really make the best sense, but it still makes kind of sense since your hourly rate is $30 and the outsource is $20 an hour, then just do it. Just do it. Okay, limiting belief number 3. I spent $1,000 plus on ads, but it wasn't profitable. means the ads just don't work for my business. Then what am I supposed to say? Then how would you grow a business then if you don't run ads? So are you just gonna give out flyers? What are you gonna do? Just do cold calls all the time? Sure, but we all know that the best businesses are always running damn good ads. If you want to become a good business, you have to run ads. And then there are so many weird businesses that successfully run profitable ads. So what makes you think that your business can't run ads? Doesn't make sense. Maybe you say that, oh, I'm uncharismatic on camera. There are so many people who sucks at talking to camera, but they still run profitable ads because it's about the messaging. It's about the message of the ad. Sure, having nice lighting, the way you talk is very intriguing. That will help the ad. But in the end, the main, the 90% of the ad really comes down to the messaging of the ad. So you have to just test a lot of ads so that you find the right audience and find the right angle. Once you find that, you can run profitable ads. And I understand that if it's the first time running ad, or if it's the first time running ad at a new angle, you don't know how much is your CAC. So I understand that there's no ceiling. So you have to just keep on spending. And it feels like a nightmare at the start because you don't know when it's gonna actually become profitable, right? So up until the point where you're running a profitable ad, you're just losing money. But at the start, that's just what everyone has to do. But you don't have to feel like you're losing because every money you spend, you're getting more data, and you're making more improvements. Every test you run, you can improve on the next one. You can improve on the next one. So eventually your ad will become profitable. You just have to keep on spending. So you have to detach yourself emotionally from the ad spend and just tell yourself, every month I'm going to spend this much amount on ads and I'm not going to touch it. All I'm going to look at is the data and I'll make data-based decisions. Don't get yourself emotional when you're spending ads. And because if you want to grow, you have to put money into ads. You have to put money into a system which gets you clients. And because a lot of clients say that this is another limiting belief, number 4, I didn't write it down, but they say that, oh, my business is gonna lose money, my business is growing slow, so I'm gonna stop spending money on ads. I'm gonna stop spending money on cold outreach. That is literally doesn't make sense at all. That is the core thing that is getting you clients, getting you leads. If you're not spending money on that, then you're not going to get more clients. Marketing is something that you have to spend money on. I know that in the ideal world, you only spend money on operations and fulfilling the clients, but unfortunately it's not like that. You have to spend money on CAC. So I basically went through how to maximize your lifetime value, how to minimize your CAC, and what are the certain financials that you should be hitting, and what are some financials that are toxic. And if you want to work with me, you can just hop on a call with me one-on-one. I'll put the link in the description. And if it doesn't work out, at least you get some value on hopping on a call. If you have any questions, you can also DM me on Instagram. And also, if you want this document, you can also DM me on Instagram, type LTV, and I'll just send you the document over also.